Welcome to Retail Focus, brought to you by 14:59 p.m. Retail Focus provides insightful, timely, and engaging discussions on the latest trends, news, and developments in retail, e-commerce, and technology. We aim to inform and inspire professionals, enthusiasts, and anyone curious about the evolving landscape of these industries. And now, here are your hosts, John Suter and Bart Mroz.
Support for Retail Focus comes from Nerve Tonic Brand. Born in 2012 out of sheer boredom and questionable decisions, Nerve Tonic Brand has somehow defied the odds and logic to become a powerhouse online lifestyle brand. What started as a whim has transformed into a global hub of edgy clothing, snarky accessories, and unapologetic lifestyle essentials for those who prefer their style with a side of sarcasm. Sign up for the newsletter today to score 10% off your first order and stay ahead of the game with exclusive drops and discounts. That's nervetonicbrand.com, your style elixir. Welcome once again to Retail Focus. I'm John Suter. I'm here with my co-host, Bart Mroz, who has returned from travels near and far and also from his illness, which he's going to address right now. Forget that. All right.
Illness. So we're leaving it. I'm sorry, we're going to leave it. I was traveling from work to Atlanta, and I got a nice present. Flu A.
Flu A. Not flu C or flu B, it's flu A.
Flu A, because if you're going to do it, do it with the A.
Do it A, yeah.
Welcome to the worst winter of diseases all over the place. It's just been, everybody's getting knocked down. It's crazy.
Knock on wood, I have not been sick yet.
I am surprised because I saw you Thursday.
I know, and I was freaked out a little bit, so I stayed in my bunker and didn't move, and I was feeling a little shaky Friday, but all good.
I guess I didn't lick your glass, your beer glass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway, my awesome thing is spring forward. We're going to spring forward this weekend. We got spring coming, baby. We got an extra hour of sleep, extra hour of light, extra hour of everything, extra hour to doom scroll on your phone and just look at the burning trash dumpster of life that we have right now.
Wait. We're springing forward.
You spring forward,
getting an extra hour. I know, we're not getting an extra hour.
You get an extra hour of sleep.
No, we're not. You're losing an hour. You're making it. You're going from 1 to 2.
I can't believe we're losing an hour of sleep.
Hold on. An hour of sleep. What are you talking about? An hour. You move forward. You go from 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. Or from min to spring forward.
Oh, you know what that was? That was when my friend's parents owned a bar. It was great because the bar would stay open an extra hour.
We're opposite of what you're thinking. This is great. Oh, we're doing awesome. But spring is coming.
Spring is coming.
Yes, we're doing great. Awesome. Anyway.
Thank God for the edit button. Okay. All right. Our first story, we're going to talk about Skype. Microsoft is shuttering Skype. Today, we honor the memory of Skype, the app that could have ruled the video call world, but instead fumbled its way into obscurity. Pour one out or send a Zoom link to this fallen icon. Skype was once the king of online communication, the pioneer, the chosen one, the app that made long-distance relationships slightly less painful and work just as unbearable but with added lag. But like a VHS tape in a Netflix world, the time has come. Let's take a stroll down memory lane. Skype was born in 2003, created by two Scandinavian visionaries and some brilliant Estonian developers. A free way to call people over the internet, unheard of. By 2005, it had 50 million users and the world was hooked. And then eBay. Yes, in 2005, eBay bought Skype for $2.6 billion with a B. Why? I guess they thought it would be great for online buyers and sellers to talk. I guess no one on eBay has ever used email. This little experiment failed spectacularly, and by 2009, eBay dumped Skype, selling most of it to some private investors. In 2011, Microsoft scooped in with a fat check, $8.5 billion, and said, "We've got this." Second time's a charm. Oh, Microsoft, sweet, ambitious Microsoft. They tried integrating Skype into everything, Windows, Xbox, business meetings, but somehow it just got worse. Lagging calls, clunky updates, and let's not forget the timeless classic, "Can you hear me? Oh, wait, I think you're frozen." And then the 2010s happened. Suddenly, Skype was no longer alone. WhatsApp, FaceTime, Google Meet, and eventually Zoom all entered the chat, literally. Microsoft had a 17-year head start, and yet, When the world actually needed video calls during the pandemic, we all collectively ignored Skype and downloaded Zoom instead. And let's not forget about my favorite, Microsoft Teams, the workplace equivalent of a long, awkward meeting that never ends. Microsoft practically replaced Skype with Teams, and that was the beginning of the end. By the 2020s, Skype was like that washed-up celebrity still trying to make a comeback, but nobody banned tickets. And in 2024, Microsoft finally decided to pull the plug. Rest in peace, Skype. Transition? Well, users can migrate to Teams using their Skype credentials, because who doesn't love a good game of find all your contacts again? You had potential, you had promise, and you had so many missed opportunities. When was the last time you actually used Skype? 19.
Before Slack, I guess.
Definitely before Slack. I tried using
HipChat was
back in the old days, and nothing but misery.
Yeah. No, and then Zoom came out, and then wow, everybody kind of started doing it. I don't know. Oh, it's been a minute.
Has been a minute. Yeah, the jokes that write themselves. There's a very good comedy skit out from College Humor of the guy who pretends he's the Skype CEO, and he kind of freaks out. I'll start. It's pretty funny. Can't play it on here. It's got a couple of undesirables. Notes.
Undesirables. Well, we're two undesirables, so there's that. It's been I mean, Skype used to be great because remember, like, you could use it for like overseas calls, and you know what I mean. Like that was like one of the biggest things. And then as soon as Microsoft bought Skype, it just went to crap. Like, remember, it was like used to break all the time, and like, I mean, I guess they brought that to Teams. But
yeah, but that's the best was guys trying to run webinars. You feel really bad for them because it's like nobody can connect, and it's just laggy. It was really bad.
Well, I guess in reality, I guess the WebEx was the thing that really took over.
Yeah,
with another
for the webinars and stuff.
Yeah, and like think about that business. I mean, WebEx was like it, right, for corporate world for the longest time, and then Zoom just swapped in and
it's funny. Like I interview for a lot of jobs. I'm still looking for a design job, and a lot of people sign up for the WebEx, and you still have to download that client, and it's like, just use. I'm like, what's here? Like,
yeah, I mean, WebEx at one point was the thing, right, for everybody. It's secure. It's Cisco owns it. The reason that Skype was the reason Skype was actually really good was that it wasn't going into service. It was peer to peer, I believe. So there's a lot more less bandwidth type thing going on. And then Zoom they created some channel that made it better for everybody, and then everybody's using it now. So I don't know. I mean, thank you for history lesson. But there's also like, if you think about it, like how many communication things we've seen and we've been through, right? Like between WebEx and there's the Google stuff, there's HipChat, Campfire, HipChat.
There was one I was using. We're talking 1999. I was trying to communicate with friends in Florida, and the phone calls were expensive. So we found this one web call. I don't even remember what it was called, but it was even worse than Skype. But it was like a very early web calling. Like, man.
I mean, in reality, if you really go back, AIM was first, or one of the first, and then ICQ was one of the biggest.
You still have your ICQ number?
It's gone, man.
I have mine. It's in my paper Rolodex over here.
Oh, remember ICQ was one of those, and then shutting doors down. Like ICQ was one of the biggest things because that was a good communication channel.
You know what? The old days of the web. I kind of miss it a little bit, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. Now it's like I will just text you or FaceTime.
Right.
It's like in reality, like think about it. How many times we now use FaceTime for everything because you can use FaceTime as a corporate sharing same way. It works great, and it's flawless. Yeah, it's funny because I love because it's like, so obviously I'm a Mac user, so I just put in my calendar or I have all the conversations, and people always freak out, and then they're like, oh, this is great. This works.
I was one of those, like you kept FaceTiming me, and I'm like,
you're like,
I'm not really a FaceTime guy. Like people, they can't make a phone call without FaceTime anymore. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not that pretty.
I do it with a kiddo, and like sometimes with like, it comes in handy with your parents when you need to do tech troubleshooting.
When they look at you and go, what are you saying?
It's kind of funny because then you're like, it's not even that. It's like you're like, show me the back of the thing, and it's not really the back of the thing. It's or it's their face instead of the back of the thing.
Ruler.
Okay. Anyway, pour one out for Skype.
Pour one out for Skype. Skype walked so Zoom could run. E-commerce sales hit record in Q4 2024. Pretty shocking, right? Who could have seen that coming? The reports are in. Apparently, people spent even more money online during the holiday season. Who would have thought that during a time when every company on earth is screaming, buy this now or regret it forever, people would actually, buy stuff. According to the numbers, online sales reached an all-time high, fueled by deep discounts, holiday panic buying, and that sweet, sweet dopamine hit of clicking add to cart. Amazon, Walmart, and every brand with a functioning website cashed in while we all pretended to budget. And let's not forget the real MVP of Q4 e-commerce, buy now, cry later. I mean, buy now, pay later, because it's more festive than racking up debts for things you probably don't need. Nothing says holiday spirit like getting a payment plan on a smart toaster. In the fourth quarter, 2024, buy now, pay later services saw significant growth in the United States. From November 1st to November 31st, BNPL reached $18.5 billion, marking an 11.4% increase from the same period from 23. Cyber Monday alone, customers spent a record $991 million through BNPL, and annual usage through 2024, approximately 86.5 million Americans utilized BNPL services, reflecting a 6.92% year-over growth. This data underscores the increasing reliance on BNPL operations during peak shopping periods, particularly in the holiday season, when people say, I can't really afford it, I can sort of afford it. Retail analysts said the boost in online sales was driven by consumer confidence. Oh yes, we're all so confident that our wallets will be empty and our credit card companies will be thrilled. And let's talk about the real winners here, the retailers. They got richer while we all got another package porch pirated because we were too busy doom scrolling to hear the delivery guy knock.
Say that about 50 times faster.
I can't even say it once. So what's next? Will Q1 2025 break even more records? Who knows? But there's one thing we count on is that we as a society will never learn to stop clicking proceed to checkout. May your returns be hassle-free and your bank account recover eventually.
Eventually. I mean, no surprise. I mean, last year's holiday season was obviously good. That's just kind of given. They said it's a given. No.
I think, well, that's consumer confidence. I think the holiday thing is just, there's so much stress associated with it. And I think e-commerce is really good now because it's like people really don't want to go out and shop. And they're like, just give me your list. I'll go on Amazon.
Well, yeah, I mean, who's really going out to Black Friday anymore? It's pointless, right? And those sales, people got smart. If you think about it, we knew this for a very long time. And it's always happening where in July, you're going to see price increase slowly through Black Friday. And then by Friday, they drop it to the same price it was in July. I mean, that's all this trick in the book, right? It's always been there, but it's the psychology of that.
I don't have a resource at hand, but there is a chart that tells you the best time to buy things. And you'll see July is a terrible time to buy a TV. Best time to buy a TV, probably Super Bowl weekend, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying right. For Christmas, I mean, everything starts going up, right? A certain time. And then it just keeps on going up. And then they drop the price to what it was 4 months ago. It's been like that forever. And retail has always been that. Last season was interesting, right? Kind of was doing good. Everything is going up. We'll see what this year's looks like. But, we are in the beginning of March and it's time to plan for holidays, which is absolutely the most insane thing that you can say, but if you've been in this industry for a very long time to figure out Black Friday, right?
You're right. And it's people don't realize in e-commerce, it's not like, oh, just change the prices on there. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of planning that's involved.
So much planning,
so much work. You just don't say 3 days before Black Friday, let's have a sale.
Right.
You got to start working on that stuff now. You got to do your projections. You got to figure out where you're going to be, even if you're going to be around by Black Friday. Some people have that terrible decision to make. But yeah, it's going to get interesting. And, we won't get into the whole economy thing, but I think it's going to be an interesting year for everyone.
Yeah,
I have a prediction. I mean, I
have no predictions.
We're obviously pro e-commerce. We've been involved in it since the beginning. So,
yep. Yes, sir. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll see what the English like. I mean, we're going into some trade wars, some things, there's definitely talk all over the place.
Price sensitivity. coming up the next couple months. Which I think
I think I just saw this morning, Walmart is like, we're not, they told their suppliers from China that they need to lower prices when tariffs come in. They're like, we're not raising our prices. We're not passing this over. You need to lower your prices
if you want us to keep buying your stuff.
I mean, it's Walmart. So there's definitely a difference.
Actually not a bad strategy, but only a retailer like Walmart can do that because they have the buying heft.
Oh, yeah, they definitely have the buying heft and they don't play.
I can't do that. I can't talk to my suppliers. I'm like, no, I'm not going to pay that.
They don't know who you are. But I mean, I saw that news article this morning. I was like, this is going to be interesting. Let's see where this goes. Welcome to capitalism.
Yeah. I'm on board or get run over.
Pretty much. Pretty much. All right.
Final story for today, because we're already at 24 minutes. OpenAI surpasses 400 million users. ChatGPT from OpenAI is the best new friend you never knew you had. It's like having a know-it-all robot that never gets tired of answering your stupid questions. I mean, who needs human interaction when you can have a chatbot tell you everything from how to make a sandwich to solve world hunger? OpenAI is now used in over 156 countries. It's like the ultimate form of global communication. No language barriers, no cultural differences, just robots talking to each other. OpenAI is raking it in with $300 million in monthly revenue. Microsoft just invested another $10 billion because what's a few $1 billion when you're changing the world? Or at least that's what they're claiming. And if you feel lonely, just remember ChatGPT is always there for you. As of February 2025, OpenAI's ChatGPT has achieved significant milestones. Weekly active users surpassed 400 million, up from 300 million in December 24, marking a 33% increase in less than 3 months. Paying business users. The number of paying business users exceeded 2 million in February 2025, more than doubling since September 2024. Market position. Despite ChatGPT's rapid growth, Google search services continue to expand, handling over 5 trillion searches annually, a 20% increase since ChatGPT's launch since late 2022, indicating that ChatGPT has not significantly impacted Google search dominance. And for advancements, OpenAI introduced ChatGPT 4.5 in late February 2025, offering enhanced accuracy and reduced hallucinations, thereby improving user experience. I could use some reduced hallucinations.
I have comments to what you just said.
But you want to give them now? You want to get the next part?
Yeah.
Okay, so there was a story that broke last night, that came through my perplexity machine. OpenAI is poised to introduce a new line of AI agents with monthly subscription plans ranging from $2,000 to $20,000 per month, potentially contributing up to 25% of the company's future revenue, according to reports from the information. OpenAI's Operator, launched in early 2025, exemplifies this technology as a web-based AI agent designed to carry out online tasks such as booking tickets or ordering groceries. Powered by the Computer Using Agent (CUA) model built on ChatGPT 4.0, Operator can interpret screenshots, interact with graphical user interface, and execute multi-step processes. I've got more, but do you have any thoughts on this? I mean, I could see businesses forking up this money because it's going to do a lot of things and probably kill a lot of jobs, unfortunately.
I mean, it's headed that way, right? Like, if you think about it, like, give it to the people and start using it and build and build. Like, I mean, their high-end $20,000 a month one, that's that's going to be, like I say, PHP level research assistants, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be for big tasks.
PHP level?
PhD, yes.
They're .NET level. They're
yes.
.NET level.
No, it's definitely not going to be that. No, I mean, they're going to be for research purposes, right? Like, it's not going to be for your regular folks. It's going to be for actual research. So, research, anything like that, it makes sense.
Absolutely. I know what my use case is. I can barely justify paying $20 a month. Now, $200 a month, that was even a bridge too far, but we're talking these mid-tier agents are now, low-end agents are $2,000 a month, targeting high-income knowledge workers. Mid-tier agents are around $10,000 a month, designed for software development tasks. And the high-end agents are, as you said, for $20,000 a month, functioning as PhD level research assistants.
Yeah, I mean, take it into finance world. Like, quants and stuff like that have been doing it forever. So if you can spend $20,000 a month, but it's making you millions, who cares? Like, doesn't, I mean, at the speed of this, it's different, right? Even the knowledge work, like imagine being in the corporate world of, consulting, high-end consulting. It's the same thing, right? You just do it faster.
Yep.
Instead of like pouring over data by hand, now you do it through AI that is, a lot less, it's pennies on the dollar. That's coming.
Yeah,
That's all coming.
At this point, February 2025, I'm still pro AI. It's kind of locked me out of a lot of design opportunities, but it's also enhanced a lot of what I do. And especially when it comes to writing, I get the writer's block and then I just pop on over and it gives me something to work with. Like I never just take something that it puts out and do it verbatim because it starts to sound repetitious and then you've got to go through other filters and do other weird stuff. But
maybe one day, I mean, the sales the same way. Like the thing with it is like, maybe at some point it will be smart enough to do psychology and stuff like that, but it's not. People are people, right? You got to read people. So you got to use a tool. Sure, some design jobs are going away and design is getting, but there's other things that are just not, you know what I mean? They're all going to be enhanced.
Much to their chagrin, humans are nuanced. Who knew?
Who knew? So trying to replace that is, it's not going to happen, right? People are nuanced.
I do think that for basic, and we're talking on a psychology level here, for basic problem analysis, I've read a lot of people who struggle with mental health issues and really had no one to talk to. Mm-hmm. They were able to work out their problems and figure out how to fix their problems because it's based on everyone else's input, obviously. But some people just didn't know the right places to reach out or have the right tools to deal with their problems.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to therapy, like every person's different when it comes to therapy. Everybody reacts to it different. Like having somebody that you can chat through, like, I'm feeling this, what is that? Like knowing, what do you know about me? What do you think? I mean, there's some dangers out. Obviously, there's a whole bunch of dangers, but it's getting better and better how it responds. Some of that is there. Like some people just have a hard time talking to people.
Online therapy really helped me a couple years ago. I know some people that refuse to do it. And they suffer at their own peril. I just don't understand. It's like the tools are out there. You can help yourself. Wow, we're getting really deep.
Deep thoughts here.
Show, man.
I mean, when it comes to AI, like it's coming everywhere. You know what I mean? Like as much as, the people some of them are poo-pooing it, it's going to be here. It is a tool. It's another tool. It makes our life work. Machine learning has been around. It's just getting faster and exploded because people are putting money into it.
Yeah. And it's funny how people are adapting to it. People that I never imagined would ever touch this are like going, pretty cool. Like I show people, I'm like, you can do this. And they go, wow. Okay, cool.
Believe it or not, I search more with ChatGPT now than anything else. I do not go to Safari or Google.
Like I've said before, if I'm doing research for this, I'll go to Perplexity first before I go to Google because Google just gives you first page.
Yeah, it's so much stuff, and like I'm just looking for an answer. And lately, it's been like I literally just, because ChatGPT is built into Mac stuff, so it's like it's easy to just drop in. I have both. And Perplexity and ChatGPT, but it's just so much quicker to go through that process, right? And then just on sort of ChatGPT, but like AI stuff, all the new beta stuff, like the newest beta for the phone for iPhone now has full visual search built in, which is I accidentally found, and then I'm like, oh, they finally added to it, which is kind of cool. Like it's all that little things that they're just adding it, and then Alexa is finally gonna put AI into it next month, which was, I don't know what they're waiting for because it's gotten worse and worse and worse. And only,
they were sure it was
still terrible, but hopefully it's going to get better. But that's going to be interesting when they release it. I wonder how that's going to be because that's, let's make it better. Like might as well.
Absolutely. We'll have to check that one once it hits. All right, we're going to close it up. That's it for this week. We hope you learned something, but if not, at least you wasted some time. We'll be back next week with more questionable advice and unsolicited opinions. If you'd enjoy this episode, please rate, review, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your Aunt Kathy. She's going to love this show. And lastly, check us out on the socials. We're on Bluesky, Twitter, and Facebook. And sign up for the newsletter where you'll get extended show recaps and behind the scenes info on the show. Links are in the show notes. Bart, closing thoughts.
Skis.
Blue ski.
Oh, well, it's March. Let's try to get to nicer weather.
It's March.
This
We're getting
weather is
there. We're in
absolutely
we're in what I call the spring of deception, where it's you get a 50 and a 60, and then you get a 30 with 50-mile-an-hour winds for 2 days. So
yes, and 2 feet of snow.
and 2
Welcome.
feet of snow.
Anyway,
Right. We'll see you on the internet next week. Until next time, may your internet be fast, your video calls be clear, and your mute button always work when you need it most. Peace.
or not.
Or not.
What do you do now?